Okay. Are we rolling?
Rolling.
All right. Welcome back to another episode of Dimeridium Bomb Squad. It's episode 36. It's me, ya boy, aka Kapil, aka Wyvern Wang, and we're here with Joshua Dulonic EIC Hall, and as always, Dragon Wiener Alex Roberts on the microphone, blasting at you. Smash that like and subscribe.
Spinning them records hard.
Oh shit. That was good, man. That was good.
Yeah. Like your job is even that hard, bro. Come on.
Well, I mean, I got the numbers right though. It's episode 34, dog.
You know,
yeah,
we haven't
no.
released the secret 2 episodes yet, right? That's why.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah, that's why.
Yeah, no, like you said,
Look, guys.
episode 34 of the Diverted Bob Squad. We in here. Cottrell could not join us this week, unfortunately, but we will carry on without him in his memory. What do we got
Is it a
first,
Smash
guys?
Bros.
Oh
stream?
shit! I exited out of the notes like an idiot. Josh, I remember something. I was gonna ask you if you wanted to handle the first thing.
Which one was the first
Josh
thing?
doesn't have the notes up either here. Let me
Epic
message it
gives
to him.
Unreal users
Actually,
a larger cut of
don't.
product sales.
Oh yeah. That's what I wasn't sure if that was first or not, but that was something
Yeah.
we're going to talk about. So Epic just create now. First off, to preface this, Epic is fucking amazing. All right. Now they can do a lot of this because one, they care about their community. Two, they're backed by Tencent, and three, they make absolutely disgusting amounts of money.
If you don't know
so
what
for-
Tencent is, it's like one of the largest corporations in the world. Chinese. owned
Yeah.
company.
It's owned by they also are, I think, a major backer in, God, what else? It was something it wasn't Activision Blizzard, but it was big. Was it? I don't know. Whatever. They're huge.
It's huge.
But prior to this, when Fortnite blew up and Paragon died, Epic's like, well, you know what? Sorry guys, we're gonna close this down because it's not worth our money anymore. So we're gonna refund you all the money you spent on Paragon, each and every one of you, and then we're gonna give you $12 million worth of Paragon assets on our market for free to use for anything, which is great. Now, and this comes at a wonderful time when me and Alex are starting a little company, game development company. Unreal has decided to change the amount of money, the percent of money that creators get when they sell their game through with Unreal. It used to be a 70% cut, and now it's up to 88%, which is a
God
significant
damn.
It's a big difference.
That's a huge
yeah.
difference.
It's pretty fucking amazing. So Epic coming in with just this
There's almost
amazing
no reason not to
choice.
use Epic or Unreal.
Yeah, like Unreal,
I mean, Unity's
Epic,
dope, but
and people will fight for Unity all day long. I don't give a crap. I am an Unreal fanboy for life, just based off of how the engine runs and my understanding of it. Like, it does everything wonderfully. It has a huge community that continually develops the product,
it's
and
funny,
it's a super positive
Unreal
experience
Engine was
around
the
the world.
first engine I ever used. Even before school, like even before we went to college, back in the day, back in like when we're talking like Unreal Tournament '99 was popping, and I didn't start playing it until I was like 14, so that's about 4 or 5 years after the fact. But it was a strong community. Anyway, they gave you the Unreal editor in that game, and that introduced me to the Unreal Engine. And then when I learned it in school, I was like, oh shit, this is really familiar because I use the Unreal editor. That was, I don't know, just a random. That's pretty cool.
No,
Yeah.
it's correct. It's been around for a minute, and it does a really good job.
Ooh, Blizzard's Warcraft 3 game editor that they shipped was actually really good too.
Oh, did they do a thing?
Sorry, that was just a side note. Yeah, back when Warcraft 3, the real-time strategy released, They released that. That's how they came up with all the tower defense mods and Dota and all that, because they released an editor with the game.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Sorry, for some reason my brain disconnected those words and said that it was remade in Unreal for some reason. To just
Oh no
ignore
no
that.
no! I'm talking about it was just a side note when I was thinking about other game engines I'd used. I was like, oh no, I forgot Warcraft 3.
Yeah. No, we did me and a few buddies. We made a bunch of Warcraft maps back in the
Yeah,
day when we were
that was
complete
tight.
nerds. And
But
had
back
no
to what you
social
were saying
life.
about Epic. Yeah.
Yeah, so I also it says here because of the literal bags of money they've been bringing in with Fortnite, they're like, well, we don't need to
They're straight
take so
Scrooge
much of their
McDucking over there.
yeah,
That's what
yeah.
they're doing.
We don't need to take so much from other creators, right? But it also incentivizes more people to go and use Unreal Engine and will probably increase their revenue over time anyways.
I feel like Epic is like Smaug on top of like a pile of gold.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, moving on. I was pretty pumped to read this. Darksiders dev Gunfire Games announces their new IP Remnant from the Ashes. So Gunfire Games, they're making the new Darksiders, or they made all the Darksiders. I'm pumped for the new one. I started playing Darksiders 2 again because of it, and then I checked out this new IP Remnant, and it is a 4-player co-op game, kind of in the vein of The Division. It's like a post-apocalyptic future. Shit's been overrun by the Root. Hostile beings from another dimension. To survive, players will travel to other dimensions, fight through dynamically generated levels, craft weapons and equipment, recruit tradesmen to populate their home base, and customize their character to suit their playstyle. Confirmed the game will feature character progression system and multiple hero archetypes. I don't know. It was looking like a more arcadey version of the Division when I think about it, because it's got that third person play style, and it actually looks similar, just like with the post apocalyptic stuff. They're all just wearing like backpacks, and it looks like a stylized Division except with aliens instead of other people.
It should be neat. It's got enough. I mean, I like the guys that worked on it, and it's got enough style to
I
it
like
to make
I
it
like the look.
continually
I like the look
entertaining.
that they're going with, because Gunfire, they're doing Darksiders like we said, and that's got its own unique look. But this looks
Darksiders 3.
yeah, it looks sweet. But this looks cool too, because it's definitely still stylized, but it's a big departure from Darksiders, which I like.
Mm-hmm.
No, it looks like it could be fun. Another game. I don't know. We'll see if it's more of an arcadey game, or if it does has some depth to it. Either way, it looks like something I'll be following, so you can keep that on the radar. There's an 11-minute gameplay video. Oh no, that's Darksiders 3. Sorry. I was like, I didn't see that. What's next? What is next? And did any of you guys see this? Nintendo wants to do 20 to 30 indie games a week now on the Switch.
I didn't, but good on them. Like,
Are they going to be paying for the developers to port? Because that sounds. I mean, that's cool. That's a great idea. But yeah, it seems like. I mean, they've done a lot of good. Opening up for their indie community in general is great. I think they're probably trying to compete with Steam as an indie developer platform, which is also great. I would love to make games for the Switch, but that said, it's it not the same number of consoles as Steam is, so it's kind of risky for a developer to. I mean, it's not as bad as the Wii U. Don't get me
There's a quote
wrong.
from this article. This is from Ars Technica. Let's see. SteamWorld Dig 2 developer Brian Sigurgesson. I butchered that name. I butchered that name hard.
I think you did a good job.
Anyway, he said, on Switch we've sold many times what we've sold on Steam, somewhere between 5 and 10 times. And it says Super Meat Boy on Switch First day sales came shockingly close to its debut on Xbox 360 back in 2010. Why did I say 210? So it seems like developers are having good ROI for releasing on the Switch. So
Okay. Yeah.
the,
Yeah,
the
so-
biggest what do I want to say? How do I want to say it? Issue is, does that seem like it's too much? Like, does it seem like it's too many games a week? But then if you scroll down, if you look later in the article, apparently 500 games got submitted to the iOS App Store every day in 2016, and 150 games per week flooded Steam in 2017. So maybe it's not. Maybe it's not too many.
I mean, I've been starting to listen to some indie developers, their podcasts, Butterscotch Games or Butterscotch Shenanigans. It's a set of indie developers, and I started way back when they started their podcast, which was years ago. And back then, apparently, the metrics were about 3,000, like iOS, not iOS, but like mobile games are being dropped every week. And that was years ago.
3,000 every week, just done.
Yeah, everywhere.
Is there really that many?
It is an incredible amount of crap that shows up.
It's
that
like
you have to
games
somehow
or
climb
apps.
out. Games, apps, the whole nine. Like the stuff that shows up when you go to the Google store or the iPhone store, like just all of it as a whole. I'm not sure how they specified, but those were the numbers that I was listening to them talk
Either way,
about.
it's still impressive if you're doing
It's-
3,000 every day.
It's scary. It's not impressive because when you're a budding developer, albeit indie or supported, like you have to climb that mountain. You're
Yeah, like
literally
you're
punching
standing
other
out
people
amongst
in the
thousands,
face to
yeah.
get up on top of this mountain to be seen market-wise. So marketing's huge.
You basically have to get featured.
Yeah, and
You basically have to contact them before you're going to do a release and be like,
Mhm.
"Hey, here's my game. How can we, how can we partner up?"
and the marketing side of it is so important these days, and getting out on all of the proper platforms to get visibility, because you could have just the greatest game on the planet, but if you don't know how to put your name out there, like you're fucked.
Yeah,
Marketing
okay,
is a big
here you
thing.
go. During quarter 1, 2018, this is the last measured quarter, an average of 6,140 mobile apps were released through the Google Play Store every day.
Oh,
Wait, what? Where did you
Yeah.
read that?
6,140. This is from Statista.com.
Every day, 6,140 mobile apps?
Yeah, that's in quarter 1, 2018.
That's just the first quarter of this year?
Quarter 4, no, yeah, well, I mean, that's the measured period. That's still an average per day.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's
But,
still,
yeah.
like, that's recent. That's recent as fuck.
Yeah, it's 59 for the previous quarter per day, 53, 43 for the previous,
Yeah.
Yeah,
So it's just increasing
it's going up.
exponentially.
More people are, I mean, it's more accessible now than it was, in 2010,
yeah, and these are apps, so like we're talking everything from alarm clocks, calculators to actual games.
Yeah.
So I'm not trying to, like, it's still a huge number, and you're still fighting all the Flappy Bird clones in existence as a game developer, but oof,
Flappy
some
Bird.
crazy shit, guys.
I mean, Steam releases, let's just talk about Steam, right? Because Steam is a platform literally only for games, and I guess anime now or something, right?
No, they got. I mean, they have programs on there and stuff.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah,
Okay.
you can
Well,
get-
yeah,
It's a
okay.
whole other section, but it's on there. You can get
Alright.
Marmoset on there.
All right, well, just fuck my entire point then.
Oh, sorry, bro.
No,
I
it's
wasn't
fine.
trying to shut you down. I was just saying that they actually do.
So the stats that that's cool. The stats that I saw were that that Steam releases about 30 games, 30 to 35 games a week, which
Okay.
is significantly lower than
Yeah.
mobile apps. That's the thing, though, is like, if you're gonna spend time and like push a new game to a platform, like I don't want to get lost in 20 to 30 other releases in the same week, you know? That would suck. But I mean, I guess just make a better game. Just make a game that's
He
better
said
than the
just
20 or 30 other
make a good
games.
game, yo. Just make
Yeah.
it good.
Yeah.
That's how games are made, people. I don't know if you guys knew that.
You just have to get good.
Yeah.
Get good.
Yeah.
And see, that's really sobering for me because the last couple months have been a tremendous like learning experience for this, for just creating a game, and now we're moving into a more business side of it slowly, and then we've got the conventions coming up for the game, and I'm trying to get this stuff knocked out, like for me personally, so I can take a breather and reevaluate other options and what we're doing, and like having to also compete is it's kind of daunting. It's not going to stop me. It's more of a challenge, but fuck.
Yeah, I think it's nice to sort of exist in kind of a unique space though. Like we're not making an MMO, you know, we're not
Yeah. Whew.
we're not trying to compete with games that like concepts that already exist. Like we're not making an action RPG, we're not going to make a new battle royale game or anything. So I think that's where it's, you know,
I hope to
different,
never
but
make a battle royale game in my entire life, no matter if I'm working if Suckerbird becomes our static thing for the rest of our lives, or if I work for somebody else. I hope to never ever work on a battle royale game.
you know, I guess our game is kind of a battle royale game.
Don't do this to me. Literally, you asshole.
You're not wrong.
Shut up. Moving on.
Moving on. Oh! James Olin, lead designer on Baldur's Gate, has been with BioWare for, what, like, mad long now, is leaving. He's been 22 years.
Yeah.
22
I mean,
years.
honestly, I don't even know he was still at BioWare. That's cool, but I mean, is he moving on to work on a new project?
Yeah, he just said it's going to be smaller and more personal.
That's
and
cool.
it's not going to be a video games. But he's still
Oh,
working
it's not
on
video games.
Yeah, well, he's writing a hardcover source book for Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition titled Odyssey of the Dragon Lords. But yeah,
Oh, that's cool.
Other than that, it doesn't say what he's up to. But I didn't realize how many games he's been a part of that shaped my gaming experience. Really,
Yeah, dude.
Baldur's Gate was probably the first like true RPG that I played. Up
Yeah.
until then, I had just been playing.
That was, I feel like Baldur's Gate was like kind of an action RPG too, right? Wasn't that like
It was very much turn-based. There was no like Diablo hack and slashy action part. It was all click,
okay.
do your spell.
No, there was. Oh no, there was another Baldur's Gate. There was an action RPG Baldur's Gate though. It was,
Yeah, I might be thinking of Baldur's Gate 2 or
Dark
something.
Alliance.
So-
Yeah, Dark
Yeah.
Alliance is what I'm thinking of.
That's it. Yeah. Because
That's-
I played.
That's
I
actually
didn't.
the first one I was. That's actually the one I was thinking of too. That's what
I
meant to say.
started on Baldur's Gate 2. That's where I.
I started on Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance.
Okay.
Yeah, the first
Yeah.
isometric RPG I would have played like that was actually Diablo, I think.
Yeah.
Like classic RPG like that. I should have said not isometric because Dark Alliance was isometric, I believe. Wasn't it? Was it kind of
No.
isometric?
Not in the sense of the
Not
word.
in the same sense, yeah.
It did have
Anyway,
similar elements,
He
but
did.
yeah.
He did Baldur's Gate, Star Wars: The Old Republic, Mass Effect, Neverwinter Nights, Jade Empire. You know, the list goes on.
Yeah, dude. I was on that Neverwinter Nights when I was a kid too.
I never played Neverwinter Nights.
It is considered one of the best like RPGs of all time. I know that between the modding community, the growth of it, God, I think it still has a huge following and player base.
Probably. It's on Steam. And it's still pretty popular from what I understand.
No, it's a fucking sweet game. I just never played it. I never could get into it. I think at the time I was, God, when was that? What year was fucking Neverwinter Nights?
2002 was the initial release.
Yeah, okay. So like I was finishing high school in
Oh, you know what?
2003.
I didn't get into it until Neverwinter Nights 2, which came out
Yeah.
in 2006. That's when I played Neverwinter.
Yeah, and I know I didn't get into it then because I had just finished college and I was starting my own business and in 2006, so I was playing nothing at the time.
Yeah.
But you know what? I just looked up Dark Alliance. It doesn't look that bad. I mean, it aged
No.
gracefully. You know.
That's kind of the thing, man, is if you want your graphics to hold up throughout the time, just make it fucking dark as hell.
That's yeah.
Just don't light anything other than what has to be lit. That's how Jurassic Park still holds up. Pro tip.
Yeah. You can cover shit with darkness and fog.
Yep.
They literally do that. I love it. When who was it? Manny Fragilis.
Yeah.
He came
Oh,
and spoke
God,
to us
yeah.
about not how to train your dragon.
Yeah.
Kung Fu Panda. Well, he did
No,
talk
it
about.
was How to Train Your Dragon.
did
That's
both.
the cave that he made. He made the cave where all the dragons lived.
Yeah, no, I know, but he was saying when he was working on Kung Fu Panda, the first Kung Fu Panda near the end, they have like the fight scene on the bridge with him and like the villain, the tiger, Tai Lung or something. But you know that was like a bunch of bridges like suspended between rocks and the cliffs and whatever. He said that in the one shot, because they were on such a deadline, they actually forgot to finish one of the bridges, so it didn't go all the way across to like the rock, so it just stopped in midair. And in order to fix it, they just added more fog when they rendered the scene, so you could just hide that shit.
Mm-hmm. Well, so and he was talking about the same thing. Like back then, now they've switched over, but back then they were talking about how, and for anybody who's in the 3D, there's different kinds of modeling from back in the day. Now everything's polygonal, where you're moving vertices and creating cubes and squares to create shapes.
Oh, they were
But
they were using the
back in the day, they used to use something called sub D and subdivisions because they had a type of, and it's kind of like building containers and stitching them together. It was
were
super,
they doing
super
NURBS
weird.
too?
Well, no, NURB. Well, it was NURBS into sub Ds. It was a weird thing. They had this weird proprietary software that allowed them to stitch together all this weird geo that wasn't made like the conventional mindset. And they're talking about how he made this giant cavern and all these super detailed stalactites and stalagmites in this huge space, and then they just like covered it in fog, and you saw like none of it. And it took him like weeks or months to make. It was just pretty. It was nuts, and how much it went to waste because of just
It was
the fog.
cool. Like you guys listening don't get it, but like he brought the actual file with him and booted up the scene in like the program that it was built in. So we saw like the rest of the cave and how big it really was, and you really didn't see any of it in the final movie, which was unfortunate.
I think Bree still have the print that she won from the Kung Fu Panda thing. It was like on a big piece of poster board.
Yeah. Yeah, we got that
God,
somewhere.
that thing is so awesome. Who did that? It was an artist that worked on it, wasn't it?
Yeah, I can't remember.
So to preface what I said, folks, back when we were in college and these folks from DreamWorks came and talked, they brought this giant, it's not poster board, but it's like foam board, and one of the artists did this crazy sweet looking like Asian drawing scene and all kinds of neat shit. Or did she get the big crane? There's a couple of them.
It's a big landscape.
Yeah, it's a big landscape. It's beautiful, and it is something that you cannot buy, you cannot find. It was made and given away for this thing, and it is one of the neatest piece of artwork I wish I had.
Yeah.
So, but no, yeah, it's cool. We learn all the things in school. Sadly, they don't do that little convention, that little thing anymore.
What thing?
The the show that whatever that convention was that they held at our college.
I forget what they called it.
Yeah, I can't remember for the life of me.
Uh,
I have the T-shirt somewhere.
They've got different ones now, probably.
Yeah.
Actually, Orlando IX is at Full Sail.
Well, there you go, and that's where we're headed, folks.
Oh, nice.
That's our first little convention stop for Zuckerberg Games.
That would be
Yeah.
cool. Go back to the old campus.
Yeah, back to the old stomping grounds.
I would be like, we used to run these streets.
By run, drink heavily
Yes, to Broadway.
to Broadway. Yeah. So Broadway was a little place.
I thought you
It
meant
was
the guy.
a pizza shop that was built into the school at the time. And when we started going to school there, you could get a slice of pizza for $1 and a draft of beer for $1. You can't get that anywhere else
Nuts.
anymore.
Oh no, that
The
deal
place
is
is gone.
stupid good. Like,
But
what?
I literally remember one
Show
of
for
our classes. I
$5.
can't. God, I don't remember which class it was, but me, Sarah Davis, Shane Skelly, and I think you were there, Kapil. We
Yes.
literally stayed through our. We didn't leave the restaurant. We stayed outside and we drank beer and we killed their keg. We went through the entire keg of Yingling. It was horrible and wonderful.
Oh, I don't know if I was actually there for that specific
May not have been.
time. I don't know about that.
Yeah, it was
But yeah,
wonderfully
with
poor
you and
decision
Shane
making.
there, I'm sure you definitely killed that cake.
God, and we did like so in Florida. There's little love bugs. They're horrible little shitheads that get into everything, and they're awful. And
Love
we're sitting there drinking beer at lunch, and both me and Shane simultaneously have love bugs drop in our drinks. Sarah looks at us both and says, "You won't do it." And we both just chug the beers, bugs and all.
I would
We're
be like,
horrible
yeah, you right.
individuals.
You right. I would do it.
Yeah.
Like, I got nothing to prove to you, Sarah. Moving on though.
College decisions.
We made horrible decisions back then. But keeping it moving, real quick, Darksiders. I should have just said it when I was talking about Gunfire Games. I don't know why I didn't say it. But they did announce the release date for November 27th. So that'll be cool. Looking forward to that. But Alex? You want to talk about
Yeah.
Tryon Worlds?
Yeah, so I got an
Tryon?
email.
How do you pronounce? I don't know how you pronounce it.
Trion.
Oh shit. All right. Yeah.
Who's to say?
Who's to say? I feel
so
like that's
I got-
correct, though.
I got an email from from Trion Worlds, and it was like, "Hey, just letting you know, since we've acquired Gazillion Entertainment's assets, like, your account is now going to be part of our system, and also since you're only getting this email because you already have a Trion Worlds account, so we're going to be merging your Trion Worlds account with your Gazillion Entertainment account." And so I went to Google and I was like, all right, what the fuck is Trion Worlds and what the fuck is Gazillion Entertainment? So Trion Worlds is the company that created Rift.
Mhm.
And I believe they're now a publisher also for other games. I'll have to double check that. Somebody fact check me on that. But Gazillion Entertainment was the creator of Marvel Heroes Online. It's sort of like an action RPG. It's like a Diablo version of, a Marvel version of Diablo. And I played that game for a while. It was actually pretty cool.
Yeah, I think we both did.
Got a lot of good characters in there, and like some actual good events and quests and stuff to do. Good progression system, talent trees, all that stuff.
Oh, the Defiance. Fuck Defiance.
I'm sorry?
Trio Worlds, they did that Defiance game. I was looking at them.
Defiance. Oh, okay. Yeah.
What did you say to fact check? What do you want me to fact check?
If they're a publisher now, but I don't know, whatever. So anyways, Gazillion Entertainment made Marvel Heroes Online. And last year, November-ish, 2017, it must have been shortly after Disney. I don't know. Anyways, um, Disney bought Marvel Studios basically, um, and completely just like canned Gazillion at some point after that. They're like people that were working there who were basically had this patch planned that was going to come out, and it was like a big content patch, and then they're like, okay, but no, now you don't worry about releasing this patch. We're just going to keep the build up for the next couple months, and then the game will shut down on X day. And they were like, oh shit, okay, well that's weird. And then like the next Monday, they were just like, no, go ahead and go home. Like, don't even bother keeping up with the game. And they got like sent home. They like got their severance cut. They're like not getting any severance. Their benefits were lapsing and stuff like that. And apparently, I had no idea any of this happened until I looked it up, because I was like, oh, okay. So Treon Worlds bought Gazillion Entertainment's assets. They didn't acquire the company because the company apparently has been dead now. So they bought the assets for it. So at first I was like, oh, Treon Worlds, the people who made Rift, are going to be making a Marvel game. But I don't think that's the case. I think they bought Gazillion Entertainment's assets for their action RPG engine. So they might be making like a new ARPG game, or they might be making Marvel assets. I don't know. Anyways, I thought it was interesting, the whole story about
That sucks for
what's going on.
What are the Gazillion Entertainment employees gonna do?
Apparently, I feel like I read something about people from like Blizzard and EA and stuff like reaching out to kind of absorb some of the employees. But yeah, I'm not sure.
That's
I mean, ostensibly they're they're working in the games industry. They probably it's not something completely foreign to them.
no, that's just.
It sucks that they didn't get severance. They didn't get like
It sucks that that's the reality.
benefits.
You know, like,
Yeah.
that's what they accept. Like that's they're like, oh, good, okay.
No, I'm sure they didn't accept it either. There was a bit of a Twitter outrage about it too, because I mean, when you're a full-time employee, it's one thing if you're a contractor. If you're a contractor and you get let go, it's like, yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
You
contractors
saw
up.
it coming.
That makes sense.
Yeah,
If you're a full-time employee with benefits, with
yeah.
a family living in a home, to just kind of no warning be plucked out of your job, no benefits, no severance. It's like, well, okay, I guess I'll just die now.
Yeah. That shit escalates quickly.
Yeah. But that's kind of the nature of the games industry. But in this case, I feel like it wasn't even, hey, your game's done, see ya. It was kind of like a Marvel or Disney was kind of like, yeah, your contract's over now. Like we're just gonna terminate this agreement that we had or whatever, and now we're doing something else. And they were just like, oh, okay.
Well,
Yep.
I'm gonna go live on some rice and ramen again for my entire family.
Yeah.
That's the dream, man.
That's
the
the
dream.
Yeah.
It's not a dream. It is my reality. But
Boy, I didn't mean to, bring it down to such a low note, man. I feel like it kind of went.
way to end the
kinda
news
went-
section, Alex. Jesus.
Yeah, it is what it is.
It's the last time I let you host. Oh man. Well, to bring it back up, what y'all been playing? Ah, shit, I got something. What the fuck do I got in my eye?
You okay, bro?
No, man, I got something in my eye. It hurts.
No, I'm not fine. God damn it.
Yeah.
I can start. Uh, for the 0 people that listen to this that also play Rocket League, they're celebrating their 10-year anniversary, so they released a new map and a couple new
Has that game
items
been out
and
for
shit.
10 years?
No, the original super acrobatic rocket powered battle cars.
Is that really what it was called?
That's
Yeah.
really what it was called. That was out on PlayStation 3, I believe.
Say it again. Super acrobatic what?
Super acrobat. I might be making a fool of myself. I think it's super acrobatic rocket-powered battle cars.
Super acrobatic rocket powered battle cars? Well, that name just rolls right off the tongue.
Oh, supersonic acrobatic rocket-powered battle cars. Excuse me.
Pardon.
That's
Supersonic.
Supersonic acrobatic rocket powered
That's
battle
not
cars.
better.
Yeah.
Supersonic
Yeah.
acrobatic rocket powered battle
Yeah.
cars.
Game was initially released October 9th, 2008.
That's
And no one
interesting.
gave a shit.
Hold on. Let me.
Yeah, they had a cult following. It was basically like, it's like the equivalent of
Holy
like a
shit.
Kevin Smith movie in the games industry.
This looks exactly like Rocket.
Right. I mean, I have a
So
lot
what
of
did they do
respect for that
different?
state.
So what did they do different with Rocket League that
They
works?
marketed it.
It's a new engine for starters, right? I think originally either they were using their own engine or they were just using an older version of Unreal. I can't imagine it was anything too crazy. But if I had to guess based on looks, it looks like they're using their own engine. But yeah, they a lot of these people actually came from, like, a lot of the Rocket League team actually came from like Psyonix used to do contract work, and they would basically handle the vehicle systems for like Unreal Engine games. So they would come into Unreal Tournament and they would do all the vehicle stuff, and they would go into like Halo. I'm sorry if I'm just wrong about what games they worked on, but they would go into different games.
You
Sorry
said,
for
"Look,
just
I'm
talking
just-
out my ass.
they
Yeah,
did a
right.
game."
So hang on, I'll look
my
it up.
God.
So I'm not talking out of my ass. But they
I'm
they
sorry,
they
I'm
basically
just-
worked on a couple different games, and they made like the vehicle systems for it, and they they had a lot of time where they were just like flipping around in vehicles and doing crazy stuff, and they were like, hey, let's do this thing, and they just like put soccer cars into a game, and they were like, dang, we could make this a thing, and they did, and that's what supersonic acrobatic
I want to
rocket.
know, when they went into the meeting to pitch the game, right? And
Who didn't say no to the goddamn name?
the executives are in there. Like, who thought that would be a good idea?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, we'll totally be able to market that. Like, that's
Okay.
like the joke tagline that you put, the secondary thing.
Yeah.
You know?
All right, so here it
What's
is. I
Rocket
have
League?
an
Oh,
actual list
Supersonic.
of the games they worked on. Boom. Gears of War, Mass Effect 3, XCOM Enemy Unknown, Bulletstorm, Unreal Tournament 3, Unreal Tournament
so
2004.
So they're reputable.
Yeah. So they've done the vehicle systems for all of those games. Yeah. So they already had the company. They were already working on games. They just didn't have to do anything on their own. And so that was an opportunity to do it on their own.
That's cool.
Anyways, 10 years since that original, I'm not going to say the title again, came out. Yep. So I was playing a little bit of Rocket League, celebrating that 10-year anniversary. But also, really, I've just been so busy with other shit that I haven't been playing much video games.
Well, I mean, you're starting up. So for folks who don't know, Mr. Roberts here is a thespian, in the best way possible.
What?
He works with
Yeah, no, I'm just kidding.
he works with a company in Orlando that does theater, and some fantastic shows. If anybody's in the area, go see them. What was the company's name again?
Central Florida Community Arts.
There you go. CFE,
CFCarts.com.
CFC Arts. Yep. Check them out. They hold some amazing shows. Alex has been in a bunch of them. The first one that like floored me was their was it the Don Quixote, the
Yeah, Man of La Mancha.
Man of La Mancha. It's just great. You know, the previous couple, I saw A Few Good Men with them. It was on point. So yeah, he's been doing that. So he's been a busy man.
Yeah.
There you go. I kind of knew it. I kind of knew you were doing stuff. I didn't know it was as serious as that though.
Yeah, he's been doing it for a few years now.
Yeah, it's it's my third year going into doing musicals with CFC Arts.
Yeah. Also, my boy can
so-
sing. Like,
You can sing?
yeah, he can.
Yep. Yeah, boy.
Oh shit.
Yeah, dude. You're gonna have to do a karaoke live stream for the
There you go.
podcast.
Josh, you still got video of us in the 80s?
And what?
When we were at
Thanks.
Devaney's, remember my parents were down and we got shit faced at Devaney's
Oh,
and
good
then
God.
sang like an
Yeah.
obnoxious about a bunch of assholes.
That group of 30.
There's like 10 of us. There's like 10
no,
of us.
there was more than that, man. We had everybody
It was
there.
horrible. We were in the bar. We were just that loud, obnoxious group in the bar,
Oh.
just singing. I don't even remember what it was. I think it was Bohemian
No, it was
Rhapsody.
Bohemian Rhapsody.
That's
Yeah,
what it was.
we were that group of fuck
It
sticks
was
in the
horrible.
I
back.
think every group
Oh.
of people is that group of fucksticks
No, but
when
luckily
Bohemian
when we did
Rhapsody
it, like-
comes on.
You
I
know,
don't know
you're
if
not
it's
wrong.
better or worse that we were regulars at that bar. I don't know if that.
Oh,
makes it better or
yeah.
worse. It's like,
I couldn't make it, but I was invited to fucking what's her name's wedding. Like,
which one?
not
Oh, Amanda.
yeah, Amanda's wedding. Yeah, and Mike.
Oh.
But
Good for that.
she's a bartender there, and he's an owner. So
Do
For
they?
anybody-
Does he? Are they still with it though?
Yeah.
Or he still owns it?
Mike owns it.
I mean, I know they did. I just didn't know if he still owned it.
Yeah. I mean, at least a few months ago, because I was driving past there and I ran in and said hi.
Oh, nice. Nice.
So what you guys playing?
Myself, I have been playing Dishonored 2 for sure. I've been slowly making my way through that. I'm playing as you can play as either Corvo from the first game or his daughter Emily in this one, and they both have while they have the same base moves, they also have their own individual set of skills, which is cool. So I'm doing like a low chaos mode. I'm only killing like if necessary, you know, because there's different endings you can get if you do low chaos or high chaos, and also the game changes depending on the more violence you do. Like the first game worked like there's like a rat plague, and then the more bodies you left behind, meant more rats would come out and eat, and then eventually the rats would take over the city, and it could get so bad where like you could almost just like not even walk on the ground anymore, like if you left bodies around. And in this one you don't have the rat plague anymore. You got like blood flies, and they're basically big ass mosquitoes, like, you know, the size of a fucking like,
The stuff we get up in Minnesota.
yeah, like these are like mosquitoes the size of like swans in this game.
The stuff we get up in Minnesota.
Yeah, yeah. Like, and it's like a similar thing there. It's like if you like leave too many things out, like they'll start infesting like more and more areas of the game and whatever. And then there's some supernatural powers. But
It's really
like I was
fucking
saying on the
concept.
last podcast, I enjoyed the Dishonored games just because it's like it really is like you have a lot of options on how you want to tackle each scenario. Also, I love the art style of it, and I thought the lore of it is really nice. Like this is like Bethesda's BioShock, you know, like this is their, you know, I don't know. It's really enjoyable for me if you're into that type of stuff. Other than that, kind of got back into some Destiny 2 a little bit, but I haven't done the Warmind, and I was reading up about the new Forsaken DLC. I know it's gonna be zombified, Fallen, and I'm disappointed, but I'm still gonna play it, like, cause I'm a sucker. I don't know.
Are you
it's good game.
playing on PS4 or
I'm
what?
I don't have it on PC. I only have it on PlayStation 4.
Okay.
But I hadn't done the Warmind DLC. So the problem is though, when I last left off, I had just done the Mercury DLC. The what's it called? Something I forget what it's called. The Osiris DLC. That's what it's called.
Yeah.
But I didn't continue after I did the campaign, so I didn't build up my light level. So my light level is too low right now for the Warmind to breeze through it. I had to grind a bit to get my light level up, and I'm just almost at the point where I can take on the next mission. Because I tried the last two missions and my light level wasn't high enough, and it actually made like a really big difference. It was a really big struggle. So I'm making my way through that, but I'm doing the Iron Banner right now. So if you play that, that's a Crucible thing where right now Iron Banner is control, so that's cool. It's not just straight up deathmatch. You just capture and hold the points and teamwork and yada yada yada. But I'm trying to get the rest of the Iron Banner set because I feel like the hunters kind of get shafted in that game. I don't think they get the best outfit, like costume design. Like the warlocks and the titans pretty much always look cool, but a lot of times I feel like the hunters look beat. But that's probably just a personal thing. But I really like the Iron Banner hunter outfit because they gave him his mask is cool. It's like based off like the old samurai masks, which I think with like the crazy teeth. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like it has like that. I think that's really cool. And then what did I say I was doing some Darksiders in hype for Darksiders 3?
Yep.
Yeah, well,
On
I'm
that
doing
Darksiders
Darksiders.
game.
Play some Darksiders 2 right now. And I streamed, actually, so you guys can check out the YouTube
Damn.
channel. You can see me catching hands in Crucible a little bit. I did a little bit of of course, what the fuck? Campaign for Warmind and Darksiders 2. And I'll probably I'll at least finish like the Warmind campaign while streaming. I can't promise I'll do the whole Darksiders 2 game though. But I'm having fun with it. Other than that, that's about it. Been drawing. I got a commission I'm kind of working on right now. So, yeah, just that.
Nice.
Yeah, I gotta do this illustration. It's like 24 by 36. I'm trying to get some thumbnail work done today so I can send it to the client, and then once she picks one, she can send me the first half, and then I'll draw it up, and then she can finish the payment.
So when you say 24-36, you mean 24 by 36 inches, like a huge poster kind of
Yeah,
size?
yeah.
That's cool.
I'm doing it digitally though, so
Right.
yeah, so it's not like I'll have a huge. Yeah.
I gotcha. That's cool.
Yeah, I might do the original drawing smaller. Like I have like what do I have? I think I have like a 12 by 16 or 12 by 18 sketchbook here around. I might just do a drawing, then throw it in Photoshop, and then redo it in Photoshop. I haven't decided yet. Right now, I'm just trying to figure out the composition right now.
Yeah. Cool,
so,
man.
Yeah, that's about what I'm up to.
Sweet.
Josh.
Well, haven't been doing much of anything. Game wise, I have been doing materials for our character in our game, and I've been modeling a ship slowly but surely, and then hating it, and then restarting, and then hating it, and finally I've gotten to a place that I'm not completely disgusted by it. So that's happening. Has been taking up most of my time. I think I have been. What have I played? The most I've done is I poked around in WoW a little bit because I wanted the Mage Tower stuff. And I did that. I reinstalled Destiny 2, but I haven't booted it up yet. I reinstalled Elite Dangerous, but I haven't booted it up yet. And I think the only thing I have interest in and might look at is Octopath Traveler.
Oh
For
shit!
my
IGN
Switch.
gave that 9.3, man.
It looks cool. I'm
Yeah.
down. I could use a decent little story that's not going to absorb me. Now,
I would play,
again,
I'm not a fan of the turn-based though. I'm still
I
struggling
am.
with
I
it.
still have Final Fantasy Tactics on my phone. Like, I love that shit. But like in the same token, it's a horrible decision for me to buy it now. That's why I'm not, because I still haven't finished Zelda and I still haven't finished Battle Chasers, and I have them both on my Switch. So
Zelda.
like, it just comes down to I have to go play the shit that I
And Battle
have.
Chasers? Oh shit,
Yeah,
man.
man.
You gotta finish Battle Chasers. I could look
I
it up
know.
though. Because I kinda
So
wanna know what the story is.
and honestly, I right now I don't have a lot of time to play stuff because I'm trying to get this level set up, and so the character needs to get done. I need to do some more hats, and then I have to get this level done before our first convention at IX, and we need to test it. So that means I need to have some sort of white box ready by the end of the weekend, aka I ain't playing shit for the next few days.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's kind of my life lately, and I'm okay with it. This is the life I choose. I just wish I could do it 8 hours a day instead of after my 9 hour workday
Yeah,
of
you just, dude, you gotta
I have
put the,
to come
you gotta do
home
the
and
grind
yeah.
now, man, and then later
Yeah.
on, you will just be like, nah, I want to work at like 2 hours.
Like if I could just focus on this stuff, it would be the production level would go up significantly, and I would be a super happy individual. But I got the bills to pay, so
For sure.
so. And that is not a plight unknown to both of you, and especially Alex, because I work with the Joe every single day. So the funny part is me and Alex see more of each other than we do our girlfriends and wives.
Oh shit, he's having an affair.
Yeah, no, that's not it at all.
Oh,
We're friendly,
no.
but
That's oh shit. Bree and Marty are like getting together. Like, I think he's cheating on me with your husband.
yeah, with game development.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
funny.
We think you guys have been spending too much time with Unreal.
It's time
know
to stop.
Who this bitch is, but if she comes around here, I'm gonna slap the shit out of her. Unreal. I'll show her what's real. Like, oh, hey, baby, it's not what you think. I swear.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, so that's about it, ladies and gentlemen. Kind of a short week. We're down a man, and yeah,
Yeah.
more
Well-
things will hopefully happen.
Yeah, maybe we'll stream something later this week.
Yeah, probably. I know. For sure we need to, because one, I want to play some more For Honor with my brother and you guys. Like
For
that was
sure.
some fun shit.
I can get down with that. I've been kind of wanting to jump back into Monster Hunter.
That's the other thing I was gonna say is right now they have the summer festival and there's a ton of event stuff, and in order to get because there's a lot of, no joke, Monster Hunter is beautiful, wonderful game. There are a lot of armors that look like hot dog trash.
Oh,
Like
really
they're
are.
just gross together.
Hot
And right
dog
now the
trash.
first hot dog
I
trash
don't like
shit.
the Rathalos armor, man. I don't think it looks that cool.
But right now the summer festival is going on. You can do the first part of the skin gear that you can get that you can just put over, and it's like this samurai looking stuff that actually looks really good with most sets to cover up like garbage looking pants or a shitty chest or something, and it meshes really well. So they just released the first stage of it in the United States. I was watching a video on it the other day, and you need to do it like 3 or 4 times to get 3 or 4 of the items. And then whenever they release the next stage of it, you can finally complete and get the armor, or next 2 stages or whatever. Point being is go do all the events because they're all open right now to get all the stuff you missed, like the Horizons DLC stuff where you could get a Palico that looked like one of the Seekers, one of the little rat watchers. Yeah, you can also get the Aloy armor looking stuff, the bow and shit. So like all of that stuff's out right now. So we should probably go and rub our faces on Monster Hunter for a little bit.
Oh man, yeah. I was playing some Dauntless last night,
Mm-hmm.
and I liked it. They definitely have been making some changes to it. They've got more. They got more monsters in it now. They got more armor sets in it now. They've got it looks like they got I don't have any, so I haven't been able to use it. But it looks like they have like the enchanting system, or like the gem socket system or whatever, like in there. I noticed like you heard me. I was talking to you when I was playing it. I was like, oh, that's new. they now they've got like enraged mode or whatever, so the monster like clearly got angry. It's definitely like it definitely feels like Monster Hunter Light right now, you know. Like can go in real quick. It's less like when this monster got enraged, like the whole monster like started to glow red. Like it was obvious, you know. It wasn't like Monster Hunter where it's subtle, where it starts to get you know, more and more aggressive, and then, you know, it's whatever. Like it was really obvious in this game. So it's Monster Hunter Light right now, but it's fun. It's got its own community. I see. I was on the boards. Like there's it's for what it is. But you know, like I said, when I was playing it, I was like, damn, now I really just want to play Monster Hunter because that shit is tight.
Mm-hmm.
I was like,
It's really good, and they got the Final Fantasy like DLC, or not DLC, but a patch coming up. Partnership with them, so you'll get to fight a behemoth for folks who are Final Fantasy fans. One of the scariest monsters in Final Fantasy. And you get a bunch of, there's like a new polearm and lance and stuff, very all Dragoon-esque if you're an FF fan.
oh yeah.
Good stuff. Well, I think that's it, ladies and
I
gentlemen.
think that about wraps it up. Alex, what should they do if they want to follow us for more content?
Yeah, you want to go to the dbombsworld.org, and you want to smash that like and subscribe.
That's not our website. Look, I'll post the link in the description box. You guys can
Got
follow us on the podcast, on the YouTubes, whatever. We'll see you guys next week. Thanks for tuning in. Take it easy.
Peace.
Bye.
Deep.